but I feel like it informed a lot of my childhood in very specific ways. I have a much sharper eye for glasses of water now. I think is one of the biggest
when
things.
they go boom.
Well, it's the fastest way to figure out if something's coming up behind you.
Ooh, interesting. Does that works on like normal people, not just dinosaur sized things?
Well, you know, it helps if it's like a person versus a 3-ton Tyrannosaurus Rex, I guess.
The person I feel like is probably subtler.
But most of the time, like if somebody's coming behind me, I'll just shake the water at them. And that'll let me know.
They think dinosaurs are coming and then they run.
Yeah, their motion is based off of sight. So they're like, oh my God, a floating glass of water. But actually it was me. And I say, hey, Jeff, what's up? You want to start the podcast?
And Jeff's like, no, this is gold. Our best.
I don't think you need to shake the water when I come up behind you. I think it just happens naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
I'm a large man.
Yeah, 16 foot tall.
One very long finger.
Arms of lightning.
No opposable thumbs.
And a deep-seated fear of glasses of water.
Oh, watch out.
Oh, that's the aliens from Signs. Yeah.
Just the one.
No, just one sign.
Oh, it's just the one sign?
No, it's multiple
It's
signs.
bullshit. We have lied to you. Never trust us again.
I
never watched Signs when I was a kid, and I've never, ever regretted that decision. It looked scary.
That's fair. It was a little bit spooky, yeah.
It's not that bad looking back on it.
You just got to remember to leave a lot of half-filled water glasses around the house.
I'm way ahead of you.
Bad at baseball.
Yeah.
But it turns out aliens are larger than a baseball. That was the key to the whole thing, is the aliens are larger than a baseball.
We spoiled a very old movie. Anywho. Welcome back to the 7th Star to the Right podcast. This is episode 50.
This is a special post-football episode.
Yes. This is I am wearing my whole Eagles regalia right now.
It's true. He's very well color coordinated.
I am very well color coordinated, and I'm also very well hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Go Birds.
Yeah, coming right off the back of the football game might explain a lot. We'll leave it at that.
I mean, Eagles won 24 to 8.
Yeah.
Sure.
Only the second time in NFL history that happened.
We turned it off a minute beforehand.
They were kneeling.
The other people could have scored again.
Yeah. So if things are a little sloppy today, apologies, both to you at the table, but also to you listening at home.
Not forgiven.
Not forgiven. All right. So let's get right on into it. What do you guys remember from last session?
Oh, so many things.
Flying things.
Also,
flying T-Rexes is how I pictured them.
Vaguely,
yeah, I was thinking of flying T-Rexes too, but I realized the reason for that was because we were about to go watch Jurassic Park. It was like a day or two before we went and saw Jurassic Park.
It all comes
at
back.
That one. Yeah, so weirdly enough, yes.
That's it.
That's it.
That's what I got.
Flying T-Rexes.
I mean, that was mainly.
You know, we were also driving in cars for like a few minutes.
While, but mostly it was the T-Rexes that we fought.
Yeah, we're running a mission to get some water. From the T-Rexes, as you know, they always
stave off the aliens from Signs.
Yep, it all connects. And then we were attacked by some T-Rexes after a good amount of bants. You know, just some primo bants with an absolute ledge.
Quality.
God save the queen.
God save the king.
It's like he's trying to speak to me. I know it.
Jeff played with the mechanics of the game and regretted it just maybe a tad as we knifed T-Rexes in the throat until they died.
To be fair, his character started with the knifing.
That's true.
Yep.
That one character with the death wish, and then we said no.
Red.
You can kill the other one.
He doesn't have a death wish. He just has a family
3
back
days
home, and he's
from
3 days
He
from
loves
retirement.
life.
And his name is
life.
Red.
So many death flags. He might as well be speaking in semaphores. Yada yada.
One last drop.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm.
When your name is Red, all the flags just look like flags.
Oh, I like that.
So, yeah, you each had a conversation with your corresponding person that you had in the truck with you.
Yep. We forced you to make up some very bad.
Oh, yeah. And don't worry, they're going to come back. The Gorillas
I'm
Days
sure.
and Alanis Joel.
Yep.
Great.
You have no shame, Jeffrey. You have no shame.
I have no shame.
Let's see what else happened. Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
and
not just for me to get you guys to enjoy a game, but it's also fun for me as well.
Oh, okay.
Just sitting in silence for 10 seconds while I try and think of a really dumb punk rock name.
I don't know. You came after editing. You came up with those pretty quick. So
Yeah, it's like we cut out that part.
Yeah, so Alex had a nice heart-to-heart with Red. Not really. Red just said, I have all of these death flags.
Do you want to see my kids? And also, I'm 3 days from retirement.
Basically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Micah had a kind of nice chat with Volker. They seem like a pretty cool person.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see the stars. We're asking about your time, like out in the stars and stuff like that.
We have so much in common.
Yep. Then you guys finally arrive at your destination. You got to the lake. You're giving me a look, Kirsten.
Arrived, Jeff. I don't think arove is a word.
a riven.
Yeah. Thus, I wasn't actually, this is an audio medium. So as long as you don't call it out, people can't tell. But now that we've drawn attention to
no one
it.
can see what I'm doing right now, but I've taken another one of these drinks and it's just...
Anyway, okay, yes. So the biggest part is things that people should note is that we killed 7 things in the first round. One of them was a deer, but I'm still counting it because they just said for how many things you kill, we will award you this much money. So technically, I shot a deer and that counts. So we'll be insisting upon that later. But
I also would like to point out that one of the things that you're also counting, one of the whelps, was actually taken down by one of Red or Volker. I can't remember which.
Fair.
So you really only killed 6 things, one of which was Bambi's mother.
We were there in a support capacity, so I think that one should still count.
But then we also killed a worm, and that's worth 3 or 4 things.
Yeah.
Was the official agreement. I think we technically struck the killing blow on the second one.
I don't know. I have it on good authority that most of the time these things only count as one.
No. We agreed on. We were
one.
having a conversation while we were killing it. And we're like, does that count as more? We've already created
I actually have
an economy.
both of them on my list. So that might not be right, but I'll reward you for both of them.
Thank you.
Ooh, candy.
Also the deer.
No. You can have that conversation with Red and Volker.
We will have that conversation.
As to whether or
It'll be
not
very
you were in
confusing.
mortal danger from Bambi's mother.
We never agreed upon mortal danger. They said kill things. That was a thing. Technically, if I had shot one of them, it would have also counted.
Pretty sure there was a modifier there saying in defense of the trucks. Not just kill anything that moves as we get there.
Was it written in the contract?
We didn't.
Was it on paper?
No, we just signed NDAs. We're horrible at this. We give them all the rights.
Alex, I'm going to need you to make an intelligence administrative check.
Sure. Good.
So anyway,
I think that's a 7.
We ended.
You can tell that it was in the contract.
Yeah. Oh, it says right here.
Okay, so we ended the session with Nona going over to one of the giant.
That is correct.
Worms and pulling out the metal tube.
Oh, yes.
The metal tube that is definitely there.
Yep. Yeah. So you reached inside. I think it was the first one that was felled. And there was that very gross, like, suction cup, like, that popped out.
Gross.
Noise.
Thing that bothers me.
And yeah, about the size of an index finger, probably a little bit thinner than one, but just this thin metal rod, almost exactly what you saw Aleta pull out of the smokers when you guys first arrived on Phistos. And I believe we left off there exactly.
Yeah, if that's exactly where we're picking up, I'm going to go over to the second one and do the same thing.
Sure.
And then I'm going to give one of them to either Volker or Red, who's ever standing closer.
So, as Nona is doing this, everyone else is just getting their bearings. I believe Volker was in the mouth of the second one. And Did you, Alex, perform some biopsionics on them?
Nope.
No. Was it Red that took? I could have sworn you did.
Somebody was in the mouth of somebody. That
Yes,
was definitely true.
Volker's
Volker.
arm was in the jaws of the beast. But it was killed, and maybe it was Red then that started performing first aid on them.
Possibly. We're not good.
So Red and Volker are still figuring that out.
Okay, fair enough.
The other the drivers who I had some really strong names for.
Ellen Dallas was the driver of our car.
Logan
I don't know the
Bishop.
rest of them. Oh, Bishop is such a good character. That's from Aliens, right? Bishop is the good the good one.
They were all from the Aliens franchise.
There was something Ripley was the third one. I missed the first name.
You don't need the first name.
I know.
Because it's Ripley.
Logan Bishop, Neville Ripley, and Ellen Dallas.
Neville is a very strong first name, though.
Neville. Yeah, it's a good one. So the three of them are continuing to look at the trucks, tend to the trucks. There's still
nothing touched those trucks. We did a great
Oh,
job.
absolutely nothing touched the trucks. You guys did a great job defending there. It seemed that the worms and the whelps never really even got all that close. You were able to pick off most of them as they were hundreds of yards off. It was the worms that got into things and started
Also,
hitting people.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think two of them kind of got away and never came back. Either
is
that or
correct.
they flew into the bushes and Pokemon evolved into. I was very unclear on
That
this.
is actually what I thought happens now that you mention it.
Yeah, no, because like two of the whelps went into the bushes and then flying Tyrannosauruses came
They
out of the
flew
bush.
away.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So they
Allegedly.
dove beneath the tree line, so
Right.
you couldn't see them anymore. And then magically, perhaps they saw the deaths of their brethren and evolved into their final
And
form.
they're just like, Agumon, digivolve too?
Greymon. Exactly.
Oh, no.
Exactly. You can't be sure. Possibly that happened. Maybe that's an ability that they have.
Oh.
But anyway, Nona, you go into
Don't tempt me, Jeff. I'll go on this digi venture. Don't you?
I love it. After all, Digimon are the champions.
So, Nona, as you're rummaging through the second worm, what is everyone else doing? Alex, Micah, are you guys continuing to keep watch? Are you seeing what she is doing?
Alex is looking over Red's work, basically, as somebody who actually knows Volker, but he'll be there to lend a hand if it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, since the more trained medics are looking after Volker, Micah is watching the tree line.
Okay. Claire will sidle up next to you, Micah, and say, "Those things were pretty big, huh?"
Yeah. You holding up all right?
Yeah, no, I'm doing all right. I was over there with Nona, and we were able to that's big. It was really big. Yeah, no, I'm good though. Yeah,
You've really
I'm good.
been working on your aim.
Yeah, I think it's starting to pay off a little bit.
One would hope after the amount of in-game time we spent training you.
And Nona, at the end of that pause in the conversation, you are able to find in a very similar place as the one before, the exact same kind of device lodged inside the head brain of this animal.
So,
Red and Volker are continuing to be focused on what Red and
Volker not dying.
yeah.
Got
I mean, Alex can tell that Volker is nowhere near possibly dying from this, but it is something that obviously quite hurts.
You'll keep the arm and everything. No, it's great.
And Red, as you're looking over his work, Alex, you can see that Red does have some experience in this. Maybe not as like combat medic, but definitely trained in combat. So is wrapping up, closing the wound off, perhaps applying a splint if there was some broken. Pretty standard stuff when it comes to performing this kind of medical assistance in the field.
Field medicine.
Yeah, field medicine. That's what that's called.
Can I roll to notice just if anything else is moving around, maybe getting closer out in the woods?
Yeah, sure. Wisdom notice check or an intelligence notice check, as we've started ruling that if you are intelligently looking out for things.
I appreciate that a lot.
It also allows me to change things up a little bit. What'd you get?
Okay, 10.
10. Yeah. So as you take a look around, it's very quiet now.
Is it too quiet?
One could argue that it was too quiet. So as you guys were driving in and you parked there, you could hear like the crickets and stuff like that, maybe just some general rustling in the forest. But after everything went down, it is quite silent. What you can hear is the pumps going from the trucks itself, the hum of the motors, and the rustling of just the wind passing through the trees. It's possible that these things scared, and your fight scared off the other fauna in the area. Perhaps shooting that deer.
Plus, we shot Bambi.
You shot that. You shot Bambi's
I will
mother.
take ownership of this. I shot Bambi, so they know not. The deer population now knows not to fuck with us.
So there is a very clear absence of things right now, but it is, in fact, an absence. You don't hear anything out in the woods.
Can we tell how far the trucks are sort of along this whole pumping process? Did we kill things too fast? Or are we just going to be waiting around now?
You got first contact probably about 1/10 to 1/5 of the way through. So it was quite early on when you guys parked. At this point in time, it still probably will be another 30-ish minutes before things are fully, full.
Fair enough. At that point,
I'm not going to think of words right now.
In that case, and also given that Red is still caring for Volker and that is happening,
Yep.
I've got a decent amount of like hacker type stuff on me. I want to see what I can figure out about the cylinder.
Sure. So to describe the cylinder a little bit more, it is, from your quick glance of everything, it just looks like a metal rod. So very clearly there might be something within this device itself if you want to try and break it open.
If it's okay, I would actually like to scan for signals, because the thing I'm thinking right now is like remote control kind of thing,
Sure.
similarly to like what I was doing with my drones and like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It feels like a similar problem to Nona.
Yep.
So she's wondering if like I'm looking for fellow AIs out there. This kind of feels AI-ish to me. So I want to go
Yeah.
looking for, is something actively sending a message to the cylinder? Is the cylinder broadcasting a message? That sort of thing.
Okay.
And I apparently just constantly walk around with 2 laptops on my person.
You should probably leave one of those behind.
No, but see, here's the thing. I don't actually know. One of them's a data slab and one of them's a black slab.
Oh, right. Yes.
So I don't think they actually cover each other. I don't think the black slab does everything that the data slab does and vice versa.
The black slab does everything that a data slab would normally do, but it additionally has some protocol on it useful for hacking.
You put Tor on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got some
black slab.
VPN going.
Yeah.
It's great. So I'm whatever I can list off all of the things I have, but I have two computers, one of which is a hacker computer and a toolbox.
Right.
That takes up the vast majority of my carrying space at pretty much all times. The rest of it is spent on guns.
Okay, so make an in-program check for me, please. And as you are doing this is not something that is going to take a short amount of time. This is not something they could do in like 30 seconds.
I will obviously stop if things start attacking us.
Yeah, so you see Nona just maybe find a rock nearby, take out some of her devices, and just start playing with something that she's very clearly taken from these animals. Monsters?
Monstrous
Jeff.
animals.
Monstrosities.
They're just very large. Yes. You said in
Beasts.
program?
In program.
I'm good at programming. 11.
Okay.
Any open Wi-Fi signals?
Yeah.
So you do a pretty, so you have no you don't have a ton of guidance as to what this is. So you are throwing a lot of things at the wall just to try and get a general understanding of the inner workings. So this is not necessarily something where you could say, this is exactly how it works.
It would be cool to figure out brain control, though.
Yeah.
Of lesser beings.
What
Eyes,
you're
David, and
able...
Philip sideways.
Sorry, what?
So you take out your laptop and your different tools and you're testing different things. And you notice that it's very reactive to electromagnetic signals. So much so that when it seems to receive an electromagnetic signal from some kind of wireless device, in fact, when you first started playing with it, you did feel it emitting some kind of signal. But as you started to play with it more and more, that seemed to have shut off. What it seems to do is receive some kind of signal from elsewhere and then amplify that signal possibly to the brain matter of whatever it is lodged inside of, effectively doing some kind of very rudimentary mind control. You're not entirely sure exactly how it would work, but you're aware that brains work on electricity in some ways, and this somehow gets lodged in it and is able to output its own impulses. So whether it's a full brain control or kind of more of a suggestion, you can't quite exactly figure out, but it's very clearly sending instructions to this cylinder, which in turn then sends instructions to the individual that it is.
Is there any way I can get a sense on sort of like very roughly which direction the signal's coming from?
I don't believe you can, because it doesn't necessarily like triangulate the signal itself.
Sure, just kind of receives
it just receives it and then outputs it. So it's not really doing anything smart where it's looking at a very specific point on Phistos and receiving signal from that. It's just wherever the signal is, and it's on the channel that this particular device seems to be calibrated to, it then starts emitting that same signal outwardly into whatever matter it is currently lodged inside of.
Gotcha. Okay. If this was, oh goodness, what are those things called? The robot grenades that we use that broke
The
all
EMP
of our...
grenades?
Yeah. Would this be disrupted by something like that?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, cool. Adding that to the shopping list.
Yeah. You can tell that even though the outside of this device is quite sleek, inside of the device there's like it's packed with some kind of technology that could theoretically be fried by an EMP grenade.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna let other people do things for a bit, but I have more questions.
What are other people doing right now? It's pretty it's quiet. One could say
Again,
almost
too quiet. We've been over this, yes.
It could be after the too quiet though, and that things. In fact, if you guys take some time as you're continuing to look out for anything else that might be happening, you do hear the occasional like chirp of some small bird or the rustling of something moving out in the forest. So it's not as quiet as it was before. It seems that nature is healing. One might say. You see a small deer go up to the dead deer on the
I'm kidding. It's already been explained to me that we don't shoot deer, but how funny.
But yeah, you feel pretty secure right now for the moment. You do have some more time. Red does seem to be wrapping up with Volker. They appear to have been given some kind of pain reliever, so they have their arm in a sling, and Red just tells them, yeah, you're going to want to not put too much weight on that.
No
try not to pick
handstands.
Anything heavier than like a gallon of milk or something for a while.
I hate you.
Do you like milk?
I hate you.
I'm sorry.
Do you drink milk?
I've recently had surgery and I have been barred from lifting anything heavier than a gallon of milk for 6 weeks. It's ending soon, but you know how hard it is to go shopping and buy supplies for your house when you cannot. The loaf of bread, it's fine. Gallon of milk, no, can't have it. You gotta bring a helper. It's quite annoying. Anyway, sorry. Resuming.
And did you say something, Alex?
Do you drink milk, Volker?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's not the vibe. Like,
Does milk exist on this planet?
yeah, every day.
My stomach can't handle it.
Gotta get that vitamin D.
Calcium.
Oh,
no, are you okay?
Yeah. No, I'm fine.
You okay?
Just lost a little bit of blood.
Yeah, you should probably. I'll
probably
Drinking milk
rest.
won't help with that.
also
Maybe
try to
Good for the bones.
try to air out your arm every once in a while and get it out of the sling. I don't know where that thing's mouth has been, so we just kind of want to make sure there's no infection. Hey, just
Yeah, and Red speaks up at that and says, "Yeah, we've had some bites in the past, so we have a cocktail that we can give them when we get back."
Nice.
It's not no.
Nice.
Like a shot cocktail. It's gonna hurt like a mother.
Like a shot.
Incredible. A layered cocktail.
And then you can also perhaps have some, the methanol from the pressure barrel. I know.
Also in shot form.
That's awful. No, great. How far along are we? Are the tanks doing well?
And at that, Red yells over to Bishop and says, "How are we doing over there? We're about 35% right now." And he turns back to you and says, "Yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit more."
Okay.
Jeff,
No, that's totally fine.
You cannot dangle these robot legends in front of me and just have them be NPCs. So good. Bishop's one of my favorites.
That's fair.
Right after Commander Data.
As
Lieutenant
far as you
Commander
know, Logan Bishop
is not
a robot.
Is not a robot.
It's just a regular dude who is driving a car.
I know. Also,
Truck.
Nona wouldn't know about aliens, but highly recommend y'all watch it, especially in this October season.
So,
This is going to come out like at the end of October, so you're aware.
So
That
what
counts.
else are we just going to kind of hang out? Are there any other jobs that are available? I think we're going to stay planet side for a little bit longer. So,
Well, before we left, I heard that Aleta was dealing with a piston.
Yeah, we fixed that.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, thank you very much. I assume you've been paid for that. Quark has been wanting some hands with something that he's working on, and Dr. Leggett always feels like
Dr. Leggett.
always feels like he could perhaps use some supervision, maybe not necessarily assistant, but just someone there to
He
be there
might
with him.
require more encouragement to look into these, because this is clearly the wildlife is attacking you because these exist within them, and that maybe seems like a high priority thing to not constantly be attacked by directed wildlife on a planet such as this.
And Red's eyes narrow at that and kind of ask, "Can I see that?"
That's why I got two. I
Yep.
give him one.
And so you hand him, and he pours this over and says, "Aleta was saying something about seeing one of these in one of the smoker raids earlier."
That's correct. Aleta pulled it out of one of the smokers that we helped fight 2 days ago, Jeff? 3? Where?
I think 2 days ago at this point. Yeah.
Approximately 2 days ago.
Yeah, those don't normally go in organic beans as far as I'm aware. Perhaps we should ask Lucius to take a look at this as he turns it over in his hand.
I believe the request has already been made. It has just been put low on his priority list, which seems an incorrect priority ordering.
All right, perhaps we should change that priority then a little bit. Can you guys stay here for a moment? I'm going to go out there and see if I can find one of the whelps that we shot down a little bit earlier.
One of us should come with you.
I'm fine. If you want to come with me, you can, but I can go by myself.
I will go with him.
All right.
And Red and Nona start to make their ways out. It was not that far away.
No.
It was a couple hundred yards.
Yeah.
But,
We can still see it. If you yell real far, it's just...
No one should wander off by themselves.
I'm
Very,
saying,
very sensible
buddy system
protocol.
Mm-hmm. And unless there's anything you guys want to do back by the trucks, Red and Nona are able to make their way out. There only seems to be like one or two that fell on the road itself.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them seem to have fallen into the forest on either side.
Which we don't like messing with.
Yeah.
There's bad shit in there. Deers, for one.
Yeah. And so as you get a little bit closer to these whelps, Nona, you do notice the resemblance between the whelps and the worms as they've been described. Very similar sort of structures. They have the same number of wings, although on the whelps, they're more like wings as opposed to the worm, which is more like of a glider of some kind. And in fact, as you walk up closer to one of these, you do see just a radiating heat from within its chest. Not something that's like it's currently on fire or anything like that, but there was some kind of combustion happening within its body, very similar to what you saw from the worms, who were able to propel themselves
Right.
using some kind of combustion and then glide from there. So it's not something that they could necessarily generate that lift themselves. It happens within them.
They make their own thermals.
Yeah.
To glide upon.
Yep. And so, like a scaled bird, you come up to one of them, Red goes down, and you notice that the cylinders that you have are a lot
bigger
than what could necessarily fit in one of these.
But I would probably know at this point, having maybe done two of them, and given that their biology is similar, I might be on a roll and roughly knowing where one should look for this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So if he's bad at it, I'm going to be incredibly rude and just be like, no. This is where it is. I know where this is now.
That's fair. And I won't go into detail what Red does in order to try and find this thing, but he does indeed find not the same size, mind you. It's much smaller, so it can fit within this animal, but a very similar, long, thin, metallic cylinder.
Fascinating.
Well, that's a problem.
Yes, this is what I was saying.
Okay. I'm going to radio back to Novavoxus, make sure Aleta's aware of this.
Can I have that?
This, as he holds out like the small little receiver. We're going to need at least one or two of them to make sure we give to Dr. Lucas Leggett. If you want the rest of them,
I would like to end this day with one big one and one small one, Jeff. However that.
Yeah, and he says,
out.
yeah, we can take. It seems we have got two here. You can take a couple. We can take a couple. We might, if we break ours, might ask to borrow yours if you're all right with that. But yeah, sure. As he hands over one to you. So you have a large one that fit inside the worm, and then a smaller one that fit inside the whelp.
Okay, cool. Yep. At some point, I am going to be incredibly interested in figuring out why the large one needs to be larger. All right. Like, is it emitting a stronger signal? Which would make sense because, brains are bigger, yada, yada, all that stuff. But like in general, if you can make something smaller and you don't, there's something there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And you can make note of that question. It could be answered later.
Yep.
But I don't think you'd be able to answer that with the devices that you have in the field. So
we need to consult.
All right. You guys are able to get back just fine. You're only a couple of 100 yards away. Everyone can still see you in the interim. It's not like some very large thing came out of the bush and just picked up Red and then ran together. I could have.
You could have.
He just goes out there and just goes yoink, and then he's gone forever, leaving behind a husband and 3 kids.
Well, that's sad.
No, but he's still very much alive for now.
Okay. Don't.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? Is there anything else that you guys want to do in the interim as you're waiting for the water to fill up? Any more investigation? Any conversations you want to have? Otherwise, I can move.
I'd like to poke the lake.
Poke the lake?
Yeah. It's weird, right? It was like generated strangely. This was part of the info dump we got a while ago.
Yeah,
It was like
so
somebody crashed. Maybe either they crashed into the lake or they crashed and created the lake. Something weird happened.
A colony ship crashed into Phistos, and its terraforming machine went a little haywire.
Yeah.
So the water came from the terraforming machine.
So then, like, are there fish? Is it weirdly clear water? Is it weirdly chlorinated? Is this entire thing a giant swimming pool? Like,
yeah,
not that Nona would know.
As you take an
is,
investigation, it is pristine water, like mountain spring pristine and clear. You don't really see very much inside it, although in a conversation with Red and Volker, you will learn that there is some form of life down there, some fishes, but that's really just for like keeping the ecosystem healthy. There's not really a source of food for them, and there's not a ton in there to begin with, so you don't really see much living in there. But it is like, as you take a look out, it just looks like a pane of glass over the ground, which just goes deeper and deeper into the lake itself and the crater that you would assume was made by this colony ship.
I'm good.
All right. So if there's nothing else, you guys keep your eyes out as good mercenaries do, and their time passes without another incident. The water is filled within the 3 trucks. You get the okay from Logan Bishop, and Red says, yeah, we're good to go. So are you guys heading back in the same cars as you were before? Claire, Nona, Red and Alex, Volker, and Micah?
I'm gonna really quickly before that happens, team huddle.
Sure.
And just be like, did we ask about the thing yet?
I was thinking we do it on the drive back.
Yeah. Okay, just checking because I'm with Claire, so we're just gonna go hang out with Elle and Dallas and not be a part of this ask.
Yeah, all right.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys get into your various vehicles. Alex with Red, Volker with Micah, and Claire and Nona together. You guys head back. Volker is quite silent. They seem to be affixed on the sky itself. This happened, I think, on the tail end of a day, so the sun is actually set and the stars have started to come out, and they seem to be just doing some stargazing on the way back. If there's anything you want to do, Micah, or talk to them about.
Hey, you holding up okay?
Yeah. Definitely a close call there. Can't say I've ever been bitten by one of those things before, and can't say I want to ever again.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
But took it like a champ.
Thanks. I try. I got some big boots to fill.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Red's been showing me the ropes and everything. He is planning on retiring pretty soon. He's made his bag and would rather do some of the safer jobs than what he's been doing, to take care of his kids and family, So, yeah, there's a couple people up for the spot that Red is going to leave. And even if I don't necessarily get that, there's the possibility. And even if I don't get it, like, it's still a loss, and people will have to pick up some of the things that have been dropped there. So sad to see him go, but excited for new responsibilities,
Yeah, it looks to me like you're a shoo-in.
Oh, thanks. I do my best, but sometimes I, as they hold up their arm in the sling, get bit.
Yeah, it happens to everyone. So I was wondering if I could run something by you.
Yeah, what's up?
So we've got this friend. Some might call him a friend.
Some might.
Who I don't know if you ran into, this person called Arcus. He's like sort of affiliated with the Fire Fangs in a way. Do you ever run into him?
No, I can't say that I have. The name doesn't sound familiar.
All right. Yeah, actually, the job that brought us over here, we were bringing him over to Phistos because he's been looking for his girlfriend, and he's been He's been trying really hard. And it seems like maybe there's like some kind of awkward situation between him and Pycleides. But we figured out where this girl is. And so I was just thinking, because, you and Red, but like especially you, you're up and coming in Nova Voxus, might be able to help us out, like get a message like over to her. It's not like this is no big thing. He's just like trying to reach out to someone he hasn't seen in a while. Do you think you might be able to like hook us up with some kind of help on that front?
Yeah. I can certainly see what I can do. I know Red and myself, we're going to head out to the Firefang camp outside of Whitcliffe in at least, and at most like a day or two or something like that. I think some of the machinations over there are maybe coming to fruition.
What wording to use for your own company?
That is a wording choice.
A wording
That
choice.
is such a GM wording choice.
Some of Aleta's nefarious plots are very
my machinations are coming to fruition.
I didn't know
Anyway,
that.
how have you been?
When you were on Painkillers, Volker, you have such interesting word choices.
How are your machinations doing?
My
They're
machinations
proceeding.
are doing pretty good.
They're progressing.
They're not coming to fruition like yours are, but they're doing pretty okay.
They continue. So I know that we're going to be meeting with some of the command structure there. So I can keep an eye out. Also, but I don't want to sound like I'm building you guys up, but that was some pretty good work out there. I'm not entirely sure where we would have been without you guys. I think Red and I may have, ate it.
Well, the action economy and all that.
Don't mention it. Important question. Which one of Volker's arms is injured right now?
the middle
Is that
one.
important?
It's really important.
Yes,
If the one
I've been
the one
visualizing it as the right arm.
okay, if the arm that's facing me from where we're sitting in the van is okay, I'm going to punch them in the shoulder in a camaraderie fashion.
I'm going to say yes. You can
Because
do
that is adorable. We should
Shoot him
allow
in the
it.
knee.
Yeah, so I'm sure that like Aleta would pay you guys very well to be there. I could try and make sure that we get you there. I could also pass on the message itself, but I don't know like if she's going to be able to come out or anything if she's working with the Firefangs.
Yeah, we're not sure. I mean, we think that like she tends to kind of hang out with like Pycleides or be kind of in his orbit. So if you're like meeting the leadership, she might just be right there.
Is this like a love triangle?
I hope not.
100%.
I really
yes.
But yeah, we could talk to Aleta. Maybe Alex could go with you. Pycleides like doesn't really like me and Nona that much. But yeah.
I think I could talk Red and Aleta maybe into that, especially with what you guys have done. Like I saw you with Dr. Lucius Leggett out in the Phistos Wastes. I heard you guys also helped with the smoker raid a couple of days ago. You're doing good work. I can't imagine Aleta would be against it.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Appreciate it.
As they look out the window and have like a little smile on their face.
At the
Sigh
stars.
wistfully.
At the stars. That feels wrong for the
That's
person
fair.
you have described.
Yeah, that's very fair.
They got a villager's if anything. Oh, that was bad too. Anyway, rewinding back, please continue.
Anything else you want to have ask of Volker or of your driver? Who I
Their
can't remember which one it is.
In marriage.
Maui.
Give him a little kiss.
And now that you mention it,
Oh,
I was wondering if what's the name of the really, really crappy bar?
Pressure barrel.
Pressure Barrel.
Yes.
See, I was wondering if like maybe after work tonight, wanted to grab a drink at the Pressure Barrel.
Could use some good old fashioned painkillers from there. Yeah, sure. I'm down. Just we going with people or just the two of us or
We're advancing. Oh, my heart!
Need a little break from the crew sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. Yeah. We can certainly do that.
Incredibly awkward.
As the smile that they had while looking out the window has grown a little bit more. So good.
Good.
All right.
Very good.
I'm gonna write down that is happening.
What more could you want from her? We've advanced the plot. We've advanced the dating simulation. Everything is going great. Meanwhile, Kirsten Clare and Ellen Dallas have gotten into death metal. No one knows how it happened. No one knows why it happened. It will never be discussed.
It is just where they're living on.
Like you just smashed too.
Smash cut.
That's it.
And Claire just has her hands folded and just rolling her thumbs.
Oh, does Claire not like death metal?
I'm more of like a punk, in alternate.
Don't do this.
I'm a punk. I'm a third wave punk.
Does she draw the line at screamo or
Third wave eco punk?
it's really more about the content?
I like metal because it's got metal in the name, and I'm a robot. That was the joke.
There's nothing against,
That was the
liking
joke.
metal. It's just, it's a lot of screaming for my taste. And I like, the composition of all of the things together a little bit more. And she just sort of trails off.
Me and Ella Dallas are headbanging.
Yeah.
In the car on
Ellen
the way
Dallas
back.
is absolutely headbanging to this.
I would love to see Nona headbang. Bep, bep, bep.
But you can't.
Yeah, it's always hitting the very specific angles.
It goes exactly 75 degrees. Not full 90 because that's too much.
You ever see the bird that drinks from the cup?
Exactly. But like more hardcore.
Gotta
Or
make sure you
make
get
it
that hair flip in. And Alex and Red are also in another car. Alex is actually not Alex.
Alex is holding Red at gunpoint.
How'd this happen? We'll never know. Red,
Don't lie to me, you son of a bitch.
Red has actually been, ever since he got back with Nona, has been making some calls on his compad to Nova Voxes, talking with, it seems like, various people about things, and has been getting calls back. Alex from just, do you want to eavesdrop?
I mean, I'm gonna be in the car. It's not like I'm gonna like plug my ears and be like la la la.
So you hear that there was Aleta's upset for some reason.
Aleta's upset.
Aleta's upset. You get some back and forth about Dr. Lucius Leggett is really close on finding more out about what his plans are, and he's quite upset about the fact that he's being asked to change plans from what he was doing to what he's doing now. Also, it sounds like there's some kind of opening that he may have found. You haven't gotten quite the specifics there yet.
Is it a butt? Did he find
I've
the butt?
I've located the butt of Wycliffe. We're gonna go right up inside of it.
Right up in its butt. Amazing.
This is what we get for watching a football game beforehand. But that's all you really get. He does get off the phone a couple of times and seems to be thinking about things. If you want to start up the conversation,
whenever
you can.
there is a lull, Alex will go. When you are looking at the whelps and the worms, wherever you found the rod, did you see any signs of surgery? Anything that would mark the outside where the rod was?
I'm not a doctor by any stretch of the imagination, so I can't say one way or the other whether that is
No scars or anything obvious.
I wasn't particularly looking for it, but I would imagine there somewhere. It's a foreign object inside of a living organism. I can't imagine that it just teleported in there.
Yeah, well, it had to have gotten in there somewhere, and been put in there from some place. So
Yeah,
I don't know if there's any nests that you know about, anything to kind of go off of. That's just what I'm thinking about.
we have some smokers from the raid the other day. We can take a look and see maybe if there's some kind of scars or something that might give us an idea of how these things. I think it's very clear that someone is putting these things into these creatures. I don't know how.
It's cool that they work on both organic and methane-based creatures, and a little worrying. Is there a body to cut into on a methane thing?
After a couple of days, no. They tend to crumble a lot more than water-based, carbon-based organisms. But yeah, we can certainly take a look. I didn't think about that. No.
I mean, this is going to be a long-term project. You're probably not going to have to worry about it.
It's kind of crazy. Volker was telling me we wouldn't even need you guys as the muscle on this. We normally are able to just go with the three of us, but one of us got pulled off, helping with the fire fangs and getting them all set up, and also just making sure that we're defending Nova Voxus since we've had 2 attacks in as many days. So
yeah, I mean, no, it happens sometimes. If you need an extra pair of hands now that Volker is, well, that's an unfortunate use, but now that Volker is a little bit hurt, if you ever need some help on a mission, just like let us know. I don't know if you have anything coming up or gonna take it easy.
Yeah, well, we the Fire Fangs are currently encamped outside of Wycliffe. It probably wouldn't hurt to have a couple more hands in that regard. I'll let you know. I assume, like, you know what? As he writes down a number on a slip of paper and he hands it to you and says, "There's my number. Could I get your number if
oh yeah,
I need to call you?" Yeah.
No, for sure. Let me text you from my compad.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you get it? It should be from 5.
5?
Yeah, that's it. That's my number. Yeah.
My bad.
Wow.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got this compad secondhand after I blew up all of my electronics and all of Micah's electronics. And I guess this one's just like a really old compad. So 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a
5.
good number. Yeah.
Pretty fun.
Yeah. No. Yeah. But we'll make sure to call you guys up. You certainly helped us out there, and yeah, with just the work you guys have been doing, just these past couple of days, I can't imagine Aleta wouldn't sign off on you helping out in another way. So wherever you guys want to find work, I'm sure we're going to be willing to pay you to do that work.
Great. No, yeah, happy to hear it. Anything that can kind of stretch our legs, we're handy with most weaponry. So, you know, yeah, you have my number.
Yeah. And you have mine?
Yes, it's this one.
Yes. The one that you texted me on.
I got it.
It's more than 5, isn't it?
I've immediately forgotten.
Yeah,
it.
I didn't get 6 or
It's
7.
under red.
Yeah. It's
Is that okay? Do you have another name that you go by? But
my full name's Red Sark.
oh no, I'm just gonna leave you as red.
Okay, that's fine. It's with 2 Ds.
Oh
I
no,
have that.
really?
Yeah,
I put
I
one
have
D.
that.
EDD. Yeah.
My bad.
I guessed that.
In parentheses, Nova Box.
Yeah, exactly.
My naming convention.
I absolutely do that with people. When I
Yep.
put new people in my phone, I put their first name and then parentheses where I know them from.
My husband is still in my phone as name, bio class, and awesome. And I think he added the and awesome.
Although to this day, I think he refuses to acknowledge the fact that he did that.
It's probably true. I mean, maybe one of his relatives did it. But anyway.
Ah, fair. That would make sense. Anywho, that conversation happened unless you wanted to have more there, Alex.
Nope, sounds good.
Cool. So you guys are able to make your way back to Nova Voxus. It is probably, I want to say early evening, probably definitely after dinner. So like 7 or 8 or something like that. The sun has gone down. The lights from the stars have started to shine through.
I have a bit of a question for you, Jeff.
Yep. What's up?
Either do we know this or can I ask Ellen Dallas and does she know this?
Uh-huh.
I'm incredibly interested in the timeline here. I would like to know, so obviously many attacks by the wildlife have been happening at least for the past 2-ish days, potentially more. We also have a ring of Ursum around Wycliffe setting up a perimeter and about to do some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know / can I find out which one started first?
Yeah, and a quick conversation with Ellen Dallas. you understand that pretty consistently there have been these attacks on and off, but they've absolutely ramped up in the past couple of days. And then additionally, it was probably about a week or so ago, maybe a little bit more, that the Firefangs had started
We're sent after Wycliffe because we've discussed
camping outside of Wycliffe. Yes.
All right.
So it does appear that there was a pretty regular amount of attacks every once in a while. They just assumed it was wild animals. It was something that they have just generally been dealing with.
Sure.
But it has absolutely ramped up recently and has gone insane as of late, probably in the past couple of days as you guys have been there. And
when we arrived, plot relevant things started happening. Say it ain't so.
It ain't so.
Thanks. Okay, continuing.
You can't lie to me. You have to tell me if you're a cop.
I'm not a cop. But yes, from that conversation, you could say, okay, it does seem that the encampment happened first, followed by the ramping up of these attacks.
Huh. Crazy that.
Weird that things happen like that sometimes, you know,
Noting
just
that down
completely
in my
coincidental.
Extensive notes.
Nature is amazing.
It's healing.
It's healing and also kicking
Killing.
ass.
It's healing and killing people. Any other conversations that people want to have with the other members of their corresponding trucks?
Also, I just love the idea of us having this conversation in between the headbanging. So, Alan, how you doing? Just crazy wondering what's up with this.
Yeah. So you guys get back to Nova Voxis. You do see, as you approach, again, just to describe this city, this mega structure, it is a quite large wall, and then behind said wall is a massive tower that reaches up into the sky. You see lights flickering here and there. There are certainly lights on scaffolding that is outside of the walls of the tower itself, and you see little people who look nearly almost like ants just going along and constantly working. And additionally, you see that on the outer wall as well, where you just see heads popping out, taking a look over the wall, lights scanning the open grassy area in front of Nova Voxis for any possible movement. Eventually, you do seem to be spotted by the wall, who Red in Alex's car makes a call ahead, and you see the doors, these massive gates, start to pull open for you. And as you pull in, you see a whole slew of people just going back and forth. Red sees you guys off and says, all right, so already gave you $500 for the down payment. And then I'm seeing that with 5 whelps killed and 2 worms, which I'll count as 5 each. What?
Claire and I have been debating this. Does the deer count?
Oh,
You did say things, and I shot a thing.
you're the one who shot the deer.
Yes, it moved.
We don't have a hunting license.
It came at us in like an aggressive manner.
Apologies if this wasn't clear in the verbal contract that we had. This was in the written contract that you can take a look over.
Okay, Claire, you win.
Apologies, but you guys did. I'm making sure that you are paid well. I'm giving you 5 for each of the worms as well, so that should come out to a total of 3,500. That includes the 500 I previously gave you. So I'll write another check for 3,000 credits, and we're good to go.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
Contract
Good.
complete.
Happily.
Awesome.
Sign here.
As he goes
Initial
to
there.
as he pulls out a contract, he says, if you could just sign here and there, and
Can I get a copy of this?
we can
Great,
fax
great.
that to you.
No, please. Do we have Nona, do we have a fax machine?
No one has a fax machine anymore.
It might be in the smuggler's hold.
That's pre-scream technology. That goes for thousands on the black market right next to the pianos.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We'll find another way.
Yeah. So you guys have that conversation. It does seem to be getting later. One thing that you notice as you step out of your vehicles is there, as I mentioned before, we're just a bunch of people going back and forth. You notice actually a lot less Ursum, particularly Firefangs, than you had the days previous.
They're closing ranks.
Yeah, it does appear that it's possible that a slew of them have been moved to the encampment as well. But one sticks out like a sore thumb. There is Celine that you see having a quite heated discussion. And as you get closer, you notice that it is with Aleta. And there's just a back and forth between the two of them. Aleta seems to be quite upset, and Celine seems to be trying to do some kind of damage control.
Well, good
But
luck.
that's what you guys. That's what you guys see.
No, I'm
there.
gonna go eavesdrop on this
Okay,
like
yeah.
crazy.
So there's a back and forth, and you hear, I just, if I hire you guys to do a job, I want you to do just that job, and then to, follow the rules that I have set here. And beating the crap out of someone is not part of those rules. You understand how that makes me look bad, right? Just having like a bunch of mercenaries having a free-for-all brawl in the middle of a working time. And so he's like, I'm sorry. Yes, I understand completely. There was a little bit of internal, and it's just like a back and forth there. It's very clear that Celine is trying to calm Aleta down, and
Nona's going to listen for
it.
a bit, and then she's going to interject and say, also, I would like to point out that Pycleides asked me to shoot him, and then when I did, he did not seem very happy about it.
So as this conversation
I'm going to walk up and like state that.
And Celine sees you come up and then say that, and just kind of like tilts her head like, what are you doing right now? Are you trying to make this harder for me? And Aleta just, you can see like some blood vessels just pop. And she looks at Celine and says, there was gunfire. There was blood drawn. And
to be fair, the only gunfire that did happen was entirely consensual by my understanding. If someone says, hello, yes, please shoot me, and then you shoot them, does that really matter? Does that count as it doesn't count as a firefight, by all means.
I'm going to come up behind her. All right,
Yes,
I think
please.
I'm not sure we're helping here. Maybe let's leave them to have this chat. Anyway, good to see you, Aleta. Don't think we've met Celine. Okay, bye.
We've met Celine.
Have we met
Celine in the bar.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Never mind. I've bad memory for faces, just for faces. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't be racist.
And Aleta just goes back and is really just going into Celine's like, there are like standards that I want to keep up. And as a contractor, you need to fulfill these standards. And I understand we are paying you guys a lot of money and yada, 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 yada. And it is just, Celine is doing her best to maintain the contract as it appears and calm Aleta down and make sure that she's aware that something like that won't happen again. If there's anything more that you want to interject into that conversation, throw more
with regards to the bears, no. I would like to speak to Aleta after this conversation happens, though. So I will stand there awkwardly until it fades away and somebody leaves.
Yeah, it does appear to come to an end. Celine is very much just like, yeah, and very like is opining, is that the right word? Like to all of Aleta's,
like apologetic. And all that,
exactly.
Sure.
And it seems like eventually Aleta has got it out of her system. It's just like, just go. We'll deal with it when we figure out that the finals of the contract, but this is absolutely going to affect the contract in some way. I can't just let this slide. And Celine's like, okay. And it seems the conversation at that ends up, and Aleta's just left there, just pinching the bridge of her nose, and lets out a big exasperated sigh. Is there anything else that you guys want to do, either with a letter or anything like that?
Yes, I'm going to approach Aleta and say, yes, I believe you had a to-do list. I needed to go back and obtain my equipment, and I hold up the roughly Nintendo Power Glove that I have cobbled together.
Right, yes.
Yes. And say, I've gone back and retrieved some equipment, and I do believe there were certain things that were operating less optimally than they could have. been?
There's a few we've been able to handle. A few of them. There was one of the lines that we've appropriated for sewage had some leaks. There was a water line that had a methanol. I think we patched those up. I do think that Quirk is still needing some help with something that he's doing. I guess he's trying to sell off something big to Demos. And Dr. Lucius Leggett seems to have been bouncing around a couple of different things. We need to try and focus him on something, but
I will, for what it's worth, share the information that I have.
Right.
That I have learned, which is not a lot, but also,
And as you're sharing this information, she gets very still and very silent. She says, okay, I'm going to need to get Dr. Lucius Leggett on that. If you would like to help him out, I'm with all of the projects that he currently has going on, I assume he could use some hands for something, whether it's even just
hands.
If you want to help him out, I know you guys have a working relationship with him. Additionally, I heard what happened on the water run. Thank you for being there. You guys have been doing some really good work. Please, anytime we have an opening, honestly, you're one of the more reliable contractors, as she looks over her shoulder at now absent Celine that we've had in quite a while. So thank you for that. And thank you for keeping up some form of professionalism, as one could say.
Yeah, sometimes.
Anywho, is that anything else that you need from me? I have to run.
I'm assuming we have the list.
I'm sure you're busy.
All right. Yeah. So if you want to find myself, Dr. Lucius Leggett, or Quark, I'm sure that one of us can easily find something for you to do. Red could probably find something more shooty. Yeah, shooty is the right word.
Yeah, that's how I describe it.
Military's not right exactly, but like more force, whereas Quark and Leggett would probably be more mindful.
Require more hands.
Sciencey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired.
No, I totally understand.
It's been a long day. So thank you again, guys.
Do you need drugs?
Do I need drugs?
What?
Do you have drugs?
Alex. Yes, constantly.
Alex didn't say
we
that.
have an incredible drug problem.
Alex started.
Everyone has their side hustles.
And so she hurriedly says bye to you guys and then heads off in another direction, flagging down another engineer. And
she goes straight edge and she runs away.
Jeff, incredibly important question. How modular are my my robot army? It's not functional. I understand this.
How modular are they?
So I've been given the directive that Dr. Lucius Leggett needs more arms. Or hands. Sorry, he needs more hands.
I see. Yeah.
I have many hands I could bring to him.
You just got to get them up and running, right? Because you have
yes, if I wanted to make the robots go, but that was not the directive I was given.
Oh.
I was told he needs hands.
You ever seen Toy Story, Jeff?
Yes, you could literally detach the arms.
Can I put them back later is the question.
Yes, you can do that if that is what you would like.
So that is definitely what we are doing the next time I have the opportunity, but there's a date to be had.
We'll see if anyone else sees her do this before leaving with just a barrel full of robot arms.
And EDI 246. He's coming with as well.
I see. You're not removing his arms. You're leaving that on him.
They're attached to a person. That's much more useful.
That's fair. All right. So it is coming up to be night. Micah and Volker have plans, but does anyone else have plans for the evening?
Nope.
Yes, I just said.
Removing the arms of your robot army.
And then bringing them to Dr. Lucius Leggett and
tonight.
like dumping I was given a directive. I was going to go do those things. I don't pay attention to when people should be allowed or should not be allowed to bring robot arms to somebody, Jeff. I just show up when they ask me to.
All right. So
yeah, I'm going to 100% EDI is carrying some. I forget how many exactly I have. I don't think it's many. I think we've probably got a maximum total of about 8 arms between us. So maybe I'm carrying 4 and EDI is carrying 4.
All right.
So I think I got 5 robots total, but he's currently inhabiting the body of one of them.
All right. That sounds about right. Alex, I assume you're just retiring, maybe listening to that static in between some radio stations.
Yeah. I'll be flicking through the radio. He's going to make himself a little dinner.
Claire will probably join you for that.
He'll have a beer.
Claire will not join you for that.
And then he'll go to, go to sleep.
Claire's probably going to do some light reading. So, all right. Philip?
Yeah. Micah's not a person who like gets dolled up very much, but she'll make sure her like hair is washed,
all right,
which is not always the case.
I'm going to need you to answer a question for me. How are we doing this, or are we rolling for it?
Seduce me?
Seduce me?
I'm not sure we need to have a seductive date on air.
All right, that's fine.
What about a really awkward one?
What if ever?
How would you like to do this?
I'm fine with rolling for the goodness of the date.
Okay. Is there any way that you want the date to go, or is it just like date? You're feeling?
Yes.
All right.
I would like to bang.
Oh, all right. Cool. All right. Roll for bang.
Roll for the bang.
Oh.
Have you been here long? Would you like to bang?
Jeff, you're not rolling opposed.
No, I'm not going to roll to oppose.
It opposed bang.
I didn't know there was a contested bang roll.
Contested bang roll.
It's like a charisma shoot.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
For shooting your shot.
Charisma talk is probably what we're going for.
Wait, you're secretly bad at that.
Well, no. Micah talks loud, but like she's not very smooth in real life.
I forgot it. We've discussed this so many times off air. Is Philip's just got this vibe where I'm like, oh, you're a talker. And Philip's like, my stats do not reflect this.
And that's on purpose.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
All right. So I'm going to say there is certainly some mutual feelings there. So it's not going to be as hard as maybe it normally would, but I'm going to need you to roll a charisma talk.
Charisma talk. Okay.
I don't think that there's anything else better. Like maybe charisma perform.
I was about to make a joke about things being hard, but it's a lot more difficult when there's lesbians involved.
-3.
Oh my God, Micah, no!
Oh, Micah, no.
Still hungover from the distilled methane and drinking more distilled methane.
Like,
made a big mistake of like taking a whole shot as soon as we walked in the bar, and it got a little sloppy from there.
Oh my!
So, Nona, as you are downstairs,
me, it got so bad. We're switching to me.
I'm switching to you right now.
Oh no!
You are. Nona, I need to tag you in.
You're in the cargo bay, right in front of the cargo doors. It is closed as it normally is, and you hear a knock on the door as you're pulling apart some of your robots.
Yeah.
Like who could that be? So you go up to the monitor that you see there, and you see Volker slinging one arm and then supporting Micah with the other one,
yes,
who seems to be in a state right now.
Oh, no.
So what I'm saying, Micah, is things were going well.
Mm-hmm.
You had too much too soon.
Yeah.
And you open the door and Volker's there, says, "Hey, Nona.
Hello.
Micah had a bit too much at the pressure barrel."
Oh.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Hey, no, it's all right.
I'm really sorry.
It's just basically methanol. So like,
no,
it's completely understandable. Just a couple will do that sometimes.
I guess there is no point in distilling.
Nona, help.
Oh yes, hydration. Right. I remember this from last time.
It's okay. She had some to drink and then some, left. So here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Volker, I'm sorry. I really like you.
Yeah. She thinks you're cute if it helps.
I'm motioning my hand toward their face. Someone stop me. Someone get me out of here.
No one does.
No.
This is revenge for you not stopping me from shooting that bear.
Alex is in his room, like watching YouTube videos.
Yeah. Yeah. I like you too, Micah, but maybe perhaps you
Yes.
should maybe get some
Hydration
some drink.
and sleeping.
Hydration and sleeping. That might be a good idea, right?
You can help me carry arms.
Okay.
No,
Arms?
it's fine. Come in.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Nona. Are you're good with her? Do you need?
Yes,
any-
no,
Yes.
I am fine. I understand how
Okay.
to handle this particular situation.
does Nona have
It's come up before.
arms?
Not often,
Nona has
mind
arms.
you.
Right.
This is. I think this planet's alcohol might be stronger than on average. People do not seem to adjust
it turns
well.
out when
to
the
it.
environment just kind of
Is made of alcohol.
is made of alcohol.
It's bad.
Yeah, a lot of people here have, gotten a big tolerance to it from drinking it for quite a while, but sometimes it can hit off-worlders quite a bit harder.
Yeah.
All right, I hope you feel better, Micah.
I miss you.
That's
And
adorable.
Volker just kind of sadly waves back.
Bye,
Nona does
Mom.
not have the capacity for this, but Kirsten is now shipping it so hard.
Micah then
Amazing.
face plants onto the floor.
Perfect.
Is Micah back?
As Alex pokes his head down the fireman's pole that you have.
Yes, the fireman's
I
pole.
always forget the fireman's pole.
I
Yeah, you
never
guys have
have,
it.
but I do not actually. It's the curse. I am the one character that remembers it and will never use it.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it's become secondary side quest. Put water into. We've been over this before. We have handled this at some point. Maybe Claire comes out. Probably Claire comes out because of the general vibe sensing and somebody very drunk enters her
Yeah,
proximity.
And Claire will come down and help Micah.
So I'm going to be like,
upstairs.
Claire, you're in charge of putting water inside Micah. She
Two
has
nights
had
in
a
a row,
hard
huh?
night. Is it? Oh my gosh,
Claire.
it is, isn't
Two
it?
nights
That
in a
has been a
row.
long ass day.
Claire, do I have a problem with alcohol?
Maybe just with the alcohol on Phistos.
Okay, I don't even like that bar.
It's not. It doesn't sound very
I
good.
don't like it.
Nona
And so-
resumes pulling the arms off
Yeah.
of her various robots.
Also, keep in mind that Arcus and Barry are also staying with you guys.
Oh no, I know.
right
We
now.
were,
Oh,
they're
right,
also-
Barry's here.
and I
Yeah.
think they are.
Barry's like,
I think they need to share a room.
Yeah,
By
they're
my
sharing a room.
count,
Yeah, they're
they're
sharing a
bunking
room. One
together. We've
bed.
got a whole what's it called? Spinoff going here where there's bears, they're
Yeah.
bunking together.
so.
And, oh my god, they were roommates.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Sorry.
they are roommates, but it's very clear that Arcus maybe has some other.
Yeah,
eyes
no,
for
I
another,
know.
but
I know. Whatever.
It's a love triangle in that way. They both love Arcus. Micah, I
no,
apologize
no,
for your night, but you are done for the evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Wait, can I not take drunk Micah with me?
oh, you want to take drunk Micah with you?
Yes,
I don't
unless
think
Claire
drunk
stops me.
Claire would be like,
Thank
I don't
God.
think she needs to go out right now. I think she needs to stay in.
So
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
I'm not sure I'm on my feet entirely.
Just me and EDI too.
Do you want me to come? I can come with you.
Potentially, you might need to be responsible for, if it's okay.
Yeah, I can
Putting
look
more
after Micah. I
water.
can get Alex or someone if you want to.
Yeah,
go
if you would like to come with, if Alex is okay interrupting his space YouTube videos.
Alex, do you want
I'm
to
in
go?
my
with-
room.
Yeah.
He poked his head in, saw Micah crashed out. Is like,
Nona
oh, well.
just like knock, 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 and then as you do you say come in?
No, Alex gets up and opens the door and he says, hi.
Hello. Micah has consumed too much alcohol once again.
Yeah.
Me and Claire are going to go on a mission. Could you
A mission to where?
to enable people
Dr.
to
Lucius Leggett.
Yeah, we are going to bring him more hands.
Why are
You're
you
gonna
doing
help him?
hands?
He said he needed more hands.
Yeah, so you're gonna help?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Call me on the compad if you
Just
need anything.
Mostly, could you put more water into Micah?
And is Micah with you too?
Yes, 100%.
You probably
we like
looked-
drunkenly also in the door frame pull into view.
Yeah,
If
you look
someone's-
in between Claire and Nona, and Micah's just face, forehead against the wall.
Yeah.
If-
Alex
like-
kind of looks at her and kind of like, oh no, it's too late for her. But I will get her into bed.
Fair enough. Could you do the biopsionic thing?
After she suffered just a little bit. I said don't rely on it.
I deserve
All right. Well,
She mumbles.
We don't have to take it that far.
Yes. Okay. So
We'll reassess in the morning. But yeah, no, come
myself,
on.
Claire, and EDI 246 are on an adventure to deliver hands to Dr. Lucius Liggett.
Before you guys leave, Claire would be like, so, why are we taking arms to Dr. Lucius Leggett?
Hands. We're taking hands. It's just they
Okay.
connect better at the arm, roughly at the elbow joint is the easiest part to disconnect.
Right, but why?
He needed more hands.
Oh,
Is this just Claire and
This
is
is
just
just
Claire and
Claire.
Nona.
And so
Perfect.
we're in the late night.
yeah, that's I can't remember what they're called. What is the
Idiom. It's called
that's
an idiom.
that's another idiom, Nona.
Hmm.
It just means they need help. Like they need hands but attached to people in order to do things.
So we could leave these arms here and you, I, and EDI 246 could go and it would be roughly as productive?
Yeah, no,
Is-
that's right.
Is that okay? Could we do
sure.
that?
I'm all right. I read my couple of chapters tonight.
Huh. All right then.
Let's go.
Argos cannot come. He does not have hands.
No, yeah, and Argos, she goes back to him and says, "Stay," and he just sits and tail
Adorable.
wags.
All right. So me, Claire, and EDI 246 are on an adventure in the wee hours of the morning to go see Dr. Lucius Leggett because we do not have boundaries. But I'm also anticipating this man does not either. So it's going to be okay.
Probably closer to like, it's not wee hours of the morning.
Oh,
It's
we're
probably
talking like 10.
Yeah, 10 or
Did you
11.
get drugged super early?
Yeah.
It was a 3.
Okay, yes. 10 o'clock. So it's still not acceptable by business standards, but by social standards, it's downright reasonable.
Mm-hmm. And so you arrive, you knock on the door, and you hear a yes, come in. And again, his back is towards you guys, working on just various things on the table in front of him, bouncing between several different machines, going yes, okay, yes. And he takes a quick look back and says, "Oh, hello, how are you doing?"
Hello, I've been informed that you might need significant help on your project of figuring out what these are for, as you have made no progress.
And he puts up a finger at that. I have made some progress, but I have to say that there are several other very pressing matters that I'm taking a look into at the moment in time.
Your place of living has been attacked once per day, at the very least, and your water supply has also been attacked by creatures bearing these clearly mind-controlled devices. So I question your sense of self-preservation, sir.
Well, you see, they haven't been able to get very far yet, and I'm very close on something very big. And he sort of decompresses at that and sits down into one of his swivel chairs and says, "Oh, I need an assistant."
EDI 246 might be able to help. He's
Yes.
a great assistant.
Oh, Eddie, right? Is that what it is? Eddie, have
Nona
you?
silently judges the fact that everybody abbreviates that.
Eddie, have you helped in scientific endeavors before as a second pair of hands? He says, "Why, yes, I have, for Dr. Samantha Calvin."
And Nona is going to lean over to Claire and be like, "See, I told you we should have brought more hands."
And
Yeah, no.
at that, Dr. Lucius Leggett goes, I'm sorry. I haven't had my coffee today. It's been a very long day. Could you say who you practiced under again? Why, yes, Dr. Samantha Calvin. I helped her build some different true AI. And at that, he just blankly stares ahead and goes, "Well, I think we'll have to figure this out next time."
And then he passes out.
Fantastic.
He
Love it.
faints.
The voice of God goes into Dr. Lucius Leggett.
It's like,
Next
we don't have time for this shit.
We get a glimpse into how he thinks of his life.
episode.
Episodic
We'll
We'll have to
segment.
figure this one out next time. Smack.
I guess I'm cutting to commercial.
Oh.
On the next exciting episode of My Life.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. This is my brother who likes big butts and cannot tell the truth. How will you escape our puzzle dungeon?
Oh no. Is that what we're going to start with?
No, please no. I
Yeah,
can
we've
come
recorded.
up with other things. Halloween is happening. That's great.